The denial is so powerful. What does that have to do with today? In the red, it says reflection. It's daily for me, and maybe it's not that way for anyone else. But this word reflection, right next to it, mirror.
Welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono with Alexander Noman.
Aloha, Alex here. And it's like, are we having fun yet? It's not even am I having fun yet? That's what exploration dash adventure sounds fun. Exploring, adventuring. And that's what it was from. I heard those words. I heard the word first, adventure. And it was like, yeah. It's a great word for as a perspective, because it's not a flip side. It's a different perspective from where I'm coming from. Here is the word that was on the other side was investigation. Oh, we're going to do an investigation here. That doesn't sound so fun. Oh no, an investigation. And there was this other word, like, well, instead of using that word, let's say an examination. We're going to do an examination here. Or better yet, research. We're going to do some research. This was something referring to, I won't even get into it. I'm looking at how about self-exploration, let's make that an adventure. Please, because I need to have a reality check. It's every day, this addiction issue, it doesn't rest. I want to take a break. The original direction I was going to go in was like two things can happen at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. I can have this, sure, I can have challenges. And I do. I have struggles, and I do. At the very same time, this life I could never have imagined it being this amazing. My family, all of my family, my parents, my mother has passed, but my dad and my siblings and my daughters and my grandchildren, my friends, from what I can, are all expressing love to me. This is like, what? From where I came. And it made me remember of a story. I completely forgot about it. It's not a story. It happened. This happened in my 20s when I was deep into my addictions. And I had lost my fiance and her son. I was so close to them. Gone, of course. And drinking heavily, but I didn't know anything else. And I had been homeless, and I had just gotten an apartment that had zero furniture, nowhere. I had a boombox, and that's it, and a backpack. Oh, I did have a sleeping bag. And I had gotten it for 30 days. And I had a mailbox that I had no clue that my parents, they were suffering so much behind what I was doing that they had gone to Al-Anon. They were in it for a couple of years. And I got a big book, a book, Alcoholics Anonymous, from them in the mail. And I got the envelope, And I had not ever heard of Alcoholics Anonymous before this. And I opened the envelope and I looked at the book. I didn't open it till I got back to the apartment. And I looked at the book. It said Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't know what that was, but I kind of figured it had something to do with alcohol. I flipped over the envelope to make sure it did come from my parents. It was their address. And immediately, all I said was, I didn't say, like, well, I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. That just was the furthest. All I did was just go, oh, they sent it to the wrong person. Boom, into the trash. That's all. There was nothing to it. There was no reflection. There was no charge. There was nothing. There was a nothing burger. Oh, they sent it to the wrong person. As I grabbed my bottle of whiskey, in pain and suffering emotionally from the breakup and the hell that I was living, trying to figure out. I was in my 20s, 23, 24. The denial is so powerful. What does that have to do with today? Because I was going to go off on a different tangent, and I ended up, why am I going back to the basics here? Because that's what it is. The denial. How does that, I'm in my 14th year. Why would I be dealing with basics? And I've heard a complaint from someone, you talk about the same things all the time. Only one person, but I did. Well, if one person complains, maybe there's more. I am the one who has to deal with this. Sure, it's a beautiful life. It is. The love of the family, of all of the family, of the friends. This takes constant, and in the red, I have of course, the title and the subtitle, but in the red, it says reflection. Constant. Daily. For me, and maybe it's not that way for anyone else, but this word reflection, right next to it, mirror. Because reflection, mirror. And this person today said, this is the quote, I'm not going to judge. Talking about something, whatever it was, I just heard those words. I'm not going to judge. And I know I've used those words. I'm not going to judge. And I reflected and I said to myself, the reality is, by the time I've thought that phrase or said that phrase, I have already judged. The judgment already happened. That's the reality to today, up to and through today. For me, can't say about anybody else, I'm a judging machine. That's not, I don't know how it works for anyone, but I know that is occurring. The issue is, that's not the issue though. It's what happens behind the judgment, because certain things have changed over the years to what? It's on page 90 of the 12 and 12. I don't lean on the 12 and 12. I lean on the book of Alcoholics Anonymous. But there's this line on page 90, which is the step 10, about step 10. One line. It starts off, it's a spiritual axiom. That's every time I am disturbed, comma, no matter what the cause, comma, there is something wrong with me. Now, it says us every time we are disturbed, comma, but there is something wrong with us. But I'm talking about me because I'm the one doing the reflection. So I put I in there every time that I am disturbed, comma, no matter what the cause, comma, there is something wrong with me. Just because it's written, I'm not going to say, oh, because it's written, that's true. But for me, that is true. But what, is that just going to sit there? And just sit there and go, oh, okay, that's true? No. Because it's true, I have to then find out what it is. What is it that's wrong with me? So I dotted line. Where does it dotted line to? Because it doesn't do the revealing in the 12 and 12. It already has the revealing on page 67. It starts on page 65 with the 3 columns, but the reveal is on page 67 in the book Alcoholics Anonymous. In segment 3 of Malama Aloha Pono, it's broken down into 4 separate questions. Where am I dishonest? Where am I selfish? Number 1. Where am I dishonest? Number 2. Where am I self-seeking? Number 3. And where am I frightened? Where is the fear? The self-seeking is about the pride, the number 3. After answering those 4, the 5th question, which is in that paragraph, it's done in a different way on page 67, is the 5th question, where am I to blame? This is the step 10, the daily, but the only way it becomes, and it's not every day, it's when I am disturbed. Oh, there's a disturbance in the force behind the judgment. I'm judging anyway, but does it cause that disturbance? It's some form of anger. It's annoyed. Whatever word, aggravated, whatever word, rage, it can be anything. Self-pity, whatever. It's judgment. That's when I'm doing that reflection. To me, it's an adventure. Yeah. There's a reveal. Because it looks like it's about, but it's not. It's about. It removes the block to that that I'm looking for in all the wrong places that I already have within already. Aloha.